Now that we have our circuit all built up, let's go ahead and talk about the schematic diagram related to this circuit. So if you're not familiar with schematic diagrams, one of the things I want to point out is that the schematic diagrams are not drawn to scale, and sometimes you'll see some slight difference in terms of where things are located at on the actual board as what you see in the schematic diagram. So first thing I'll draw your attention to is you see where the 5 volts here is on the Arduino board. This big component here, this is our Arduino board, and Arduino is not as rectangular as this, but again, it's not drawn to the actual size. It's based on how things are components in the circuit are related to each other. So if you look at the 5 volts here, it's at the top, but in our diagram, in our actual board, the 5 volts is over here on the left side. Okay? So the actual what's coming out of the 5 volts, if you notice, out of this 5 volts here, you see this line going to this component, the 220 ohm resistor. So out of the 5 volts here, just follow your red wire. It goes to the positive power bus line, and then what else is connected to that power bus line? It's your 220 ohm resistor here. And then back on your schematic diagram, what's coming after the resistor? What's connected to the other end of the resistor? Then you go into your push button. So here you see that coming from the other end of our resistor, we go over to our push button. Okay? And this symbol here for the push button, you notice that you have this contact. If it's up, like this represents when you're not pushing down on it. Obviously, if you push down on it, it's going to make this connection here and allow current to flow through. But right now, current would not flow through in this particular situation. The resistance is too great for the current to pass through here. After you come out of the push button, then what's the next component? It's your LED. So, we have this jumper here. You won't see jumpers. Typically, we don't see jumpers in schematics, but the connection is still the same where it comes out of the switch, through this jumper to our LED. Okay, and in this case, on the schematic here, the anode side is represented by the bottom part of this triangle here, and this little flat bar here represents the cathode side. Okay, so coming out of the cathode side, we end up back here at ground. So you see from here, go back into this jumper cable, and then jumper cable is connected to the negative part of our power bus line, and then out of here you see the black wire go back into ground on the Arduino board. Okay? So these schematics are very helpful when it comes to troubleshooting. If you have an error, like something's not working in your circuit right, you want to refer back to the schematic so you can see how should the components be connected, and sometimes it might be connected, inserted wrong, or it has blown. But this is very helpful for troubleshooting.